Let's hear from someone who has successfully built customer loyalty. Joining us is Honorable Ikechukwu Okorie, CEO of ELDYKE Group, a brand known for its strong customer relationships.
The first company registered was in 2012. That's Sprite Limited, yeah. 2012. But what happened was that while I worked in cheaper group of companies as the group managing director, I joined cheaper group in 2003. Sprite Limited. Oh, I was putting ELDYKE. ELDYKE is the last company that was registered 2012. The first company, Sprite Limited, was registered by me in 2004. Yeah. So from 2004 we have been in business. While I worked with my former company, which I joined in 2003, we had, sometimes we used the Sprite Limited to do a few jobs. So it's been in existence for long, you know. So until 2016, 2017 was when I now, gradually, while I was still overseeing the business of the other way, my own kicked in, and then I gradually had to exit to face my business. So that's that. Our major businesses are engineering works, all manner of constructions, wood, building, steel structures, name it. We do that. If you look outside there, you will see some equipment hanging around there. When we procured this massive size of land in this area, we have a plan as well. As an area mapped out for our warehouse, still coming up. We just finished this building, and the building you can see is, do you call it a two-story? It's housing the entire group. We have the section for the engineers, we have the section for the petroleum marketing company, we also have for the ICT. That's why it's a little bit large. We moved from our office that was in Wuse before. So we do engineering, construction, we do procurement. We also, and that is handled by, like I told you, ELDYKE Engineering. Sprite Limited does real estate. We buy and sell property. We also develop our personal estates where we have empty land, and then we build structures and sell to public. We run mortgages with Federal Mortgage Bank, where we have a property. You don't have all the money, but you qualify according to the Federal Mortgage law, majorly for civil servants. But even if you are not a civil servant, that's a way, as a private person, you can also register and be able to take advantage of it. So what they do is they pay on your behalf. They pay the full money to us through our warehousing bank. We access the funds, and then you take your property, move into your property, and then through the bank, for the number of years that it will take, you pay. They deduct at source. If you're a salary person, once it's a month, bam, that what you pay it spans about 30-35 years maximum, depending on your income status. So with that, you can be able to pay over a very long time. It's rare in Nigeria. Nigeria is cash and carry, and that's the greatest problem that the poor, people have in this country. A credit society benefits the citizens a lot, in that even when you don't have money, you can be able to quickly have access to a certain limited level of credit that life will go on. And then over time, those deductions are done. But it's difficult in Nigeria to do such things because now you don't have a reliable data. So people, you give your money to somebody, if care is not taken, you don't even be able to trace the person. You have dual identities, blah, blah, blah. So, but that's what Federal Mortgage Bank does. It gets money, pays for the people, and then the people can have accommodation where they stay and pay gradually over time at their convenience. So that's for real estate. Then for individuals, you can pay outright. It can be structured depending on what it is in a particular estate where you're buying from. For mass housing, we also buy from, like, if we see a fellow real estate company, they have a choice place or a place of interest, can also buy into what they are doing and have a number of units there, which you could do either land banking or investment, whichever way. So that's that. Then ELDYKE Limited was the last one that was registered, and was typically registered for petroleum business, marketing, exploration. We also are very hopeful that maybe one day we'll go into exploration, but for now we are doing marketing. And we have 2 stations in Abuja. This particular one, this is a 60 metric ton capacity gas plant for LPG. We have at Apo also. Then we'll have 2 in the east. We have our Funai. Funai is, later, I always call it Funai because while we were doing our work there, it was answering Funai. But much later, Buhari added Alex Ekwueme. So it's now AE Funai. That's Alex Ekwueme Federal University at Ikwo. So we have a 10 metric ton plant there, and then in my hometown we also have a 40 metric ton LPG plant where we service our people. That one was intentionally built to serve my people. Running a company really is not very easy, but it can be fun. If you are doing what you like. If I will quote Kano said, as a little boy, he loved the leather thing. He could forfeit his food just for him to keep the leather, and then he was doing it for fun, and it gave him fame. From just fame, they now picked him to, a lot of other things, and they said they were going to pay him. And it was like this thing that if he had money, he was ready to pay for them to allow him keep the leather. But it turned around that they are now paying him heavily for doing that thing he loved. So it made it a lot easier for him to excel. No, this is for both wholesalers and retailers. We call them end users. The end users are the people who come with their 12 kg, 5 kg, 6 kg, 12.5, or whatever to buy, to use. Then you have the bulk buyers. The bulk buyers are the ones who, like the roadside guys, who have 70 or 50 kg cylinders The multiple numbers of them. They use them to buy and then take them into the hinterlands to sell. We also have other certain level of bulk buyers. Those ones are the ones that have the skids. We call them skids. That's the 5 ton, 2.5. 1 ton is rare, but that's that. So those ones, they don't come here. We use our bobtails. Yes, we use bobtails. Those small trucks. We use that. Go deliver to them the quantity they want to buy, because they can't move. Those their small tanks are static. So we service them from here. So I'm partnering with a company for the CNG skid installation. You bring your car. They are partnering with the federal government for the people who are beneficiaries of the federal government initiative on energy. They call them FICNG, the federal government initiative on CNG for energy. So they are it's just the bureaucracy. Otherwise, they are supposed to have started. You see, we've already dug the pit there where the cars go in and they will be able to work on them, install the skids, and then the whole thing will run. And in doing that, when they start, we're already processing to start also here being a CNG filling plant, so that by the side by side, if we're installing the skid for you, we could also refuel. For staff, of course, you know, work is not by force. I have a right to engage somebody. Somebody has also a right to agree to be engaged or refuse to be engaged. When staff are engaged, they get into the company. The company has a culture. The group has a culture, overall, group-wide. That culture is we recognize innovation. When you are good at what you do, you know, it's one of the great advantages of entrepreneurship. When you are in the private sector, it might not be very easy for you to do that in government, because a lot of things are involved in government bureaucracy. Somebody is in level 6, when others are going to, the best they will do is paperwork. Paperwork is not same as the practical field work, you know. But there, when you deliver, the company feels it that you have delivered. So you and I, just like I was talking about myself, I joined Link Servers Copper, you know. Most of the people are joined there with finished their service, they were not retained, they left. They were just lazying about. But the MD noticed me, and that's how he engaged me and gave me leadership position, and I proved my mettle, and that's how we continued. They moved me to Abuja and all that. So it's easy for you to do that in a private enterprise. It's a lot easier. So, and that's what we do. Everybody, you will know that your performance will check where you get to with the company. Nothing else is your performance. I could employ somebody who has a master's degree, and then another person starts from, let's say, from this gas plant, could engage you, and you start from the pump. That's where the sales area. We could observe you. When we find out, okay, let me just give you an example. We engage a security man here. We engage him as an armed security person. So the security company that sent him to us, over time, we found out that the guy was technically very good, because even outside his security work, he was interested in what we were doing, and we were doing installation then. So after that, we now approached him, and we had a deal with him. Immediately we finished the installation, we sent him for training. He went for training, and he has become, as at today now, he's our most senior technical person. And he's in the east. He's the one managing our plants in the east. Anywhere they had any issues, he would go and sort those things out. So from Abuja, we moved him to the east, and he's there. Because you can access more technical people here than in the east. So that's the thing. And in his qualification, he does not even have a primary school certificate. But he's technically sound, and that's what I want. But you know, you cannot do that in government. They must look for this one. So that's what we do here. If we engage you at your level, if you prove you are good, we have things that we are doing, and you can deliver, you can go all the way. Maybe, but you may not become MD, because that may require a lot of other skills that you may not have. So, then for customers, retaining customers, our business is very competitive. But one thing that goes for us is that here we are very sincere. Like our scales, we make sure that if we give you 1 kg, it's 1 kg. We don't compromise on that. So our scales are accurate. Then for bigger customers, from time to time, we negotiate. We could, depending on how products arrive, we negotiate prices. And we always try to be very fair to them. Sometimes we might not make reasonable profit, but once we can be able to cover our costs, our landing costs, and the little thing for the gas that you use in pumping and all those other things, we wouldn't mind. We just negotiate and everybody is happy, and we'll be able to deliver to them. So for that, many of our customers will return them over time. 2, for like this, which has to do with sincerity too. We don't buy our products anyhow and everywhere. There are several depots where you go, LPG. LPG is a mixture of 2 gases. They will take the other one that is very light and cheaper. They will in their batching system. They will mix them up so that what you have is, when they bring it, you put it in 2 days. Maybe a gas that will burn for 1 week will just burn 2 days and it's gone. So for that, we stick to depots that we buy from in Port Harcourt or Lagos that sell the good quality LPG product. So those are the things. And if it's in construction, our standard, we usually will say it is either it is qualitative or nothing. It is excellent or nothing. So we don't compromise quality. Whatever we want to do, we check the quality of our delivery. We make sure that we don't compromise, so that the customer is happy at the end of the day. And then tomorrow, they will come for you again. For our retail businesses, we even have like a WhatsApp group where I am as well. And then in my properties, some properties that I have, other ones where they have tenants and all that, I have a company I engaged as a property manager. So he makes sure those properties are maintained. He makes sure to collect the rates at the right time and all that, interfaces with them. But in all of them, but you may never hear me, because I'm just an observer. And why I'm there is to observe what's happening, and if something of concern, I'll call the attention of the manager. Without too much, stories. I'm here, I'm there, I'm hearing it and all that. Then for this other one, our major customers were in a group. So at any time they have anything of concern, they drop it in the group and I read it. Every other person read it. Also in our daily management, all the offices, they have their particular groups. And also for the senior managers are in all the groups. At the general manager is in all the groups and all. I am in all the groups as well. The directors are in all the groups. Then, as it is graduated according to security, just like access. It's graduated like that until the topmost, where you have the topmost managers. So at each point, people have, every person in the company is in a group. When I was doing my service in the other company I told you, there was something we did once every month or something, like meeting for all staff. Our slogan then was, if you are MD, whatever you are, if you are crossing that gate, remove the coat, hang it there, and then enter. So what we tried to create was a level ground where everybody could say it the way. If there was anything, any issues, whatever it was, feel free. Just like in National Assembly, whatever you said in the Hello Chambers cannot or will not be justiciable in court. So nobody can sue you for that. So in this one, in that meeting, you can be forgiven of whatever. But that didn't mean you should insult your... but you could point out, even if it's the MD, you could point out what you didn't feel good about. Those are the things. So that's what we'll do. So now that technology is here, it helped me, from what I gained from that, it helped me to do that as well. So even the security men, I'm in same group with them. And they see at that general level, they see everything that's happening in the company. So we are as transparent to each other as possible. If there is any little thing, something you may not be able to face me one-on-one and say, you have the opportunity to do that in your sitting room or in your wherever you are. Just drop a note and I definitely will read it. I don't play with customers, and I have taught the staff also not to play with the customer. The customer is king, and it's true. So how you treat them is very important. And of course, if they don't come, the product will remain there. And if you don't sell it, you also know what the dollar is doing. If you buy product, the earlier you finish selling, the better for you, because the dollar could tumble, to go down. It could also go up, but you never can. So the earlier you sell off, you have, then you buy a new one. So you buy the new one so that you sell at the price it's going, before you lose huge monies, or it will keep staying in your tank without sales. Same thing with other products. In the real estate, if you open up a place and people are not coming to buy. There was one particular real estate giant that, at a point, people wouldn't near any estate named after, wherever I will not mention the name, wherever they had it, nobody would near them. So what he did was that he now started using different names to sell in the estates. And then eventually, when you would have bought into it, then later you will find out it's his estate. But then in using that, he took his time to improve on the quality of work in those areas. And with that, he was able to start building confidence again. And I think he's doing a lot better now.
We also took to the streets to find out what business owners and customers think about customer loyalty. Here is what they had to say.
There are businesses or service providers that I must always go back to firsthand before any other person. First, I consider loyalty and customer service. When I mean loyalty, I don't talk about my own loyalty to the brand. I talk about the brand loyalty to me. So when I mean the brand loyalty to me, it's how they value my always presence as a customer. Okay, so yeah. Then after the loyalty from the brand, I look at quality. Okay, but the first for me is the customer service. I mean, I'm doing you a favor in as much as you are doing me a favor of providing a service. But for me to leave 1,000,001 brands to always come back, I expect top-notch customer service. So yes, for me, is that customer service. That is what stands out for me.
If I'm satisfied with the service I get, I'm definitely going back. So I think first of all, if you have a good service, if you're satisfied, I think one thing that's important is customer satisfaction. Once I'm satisfied with the service, I tend to go back. Then I think number 2 is we are creatures of habits. I think we as humans. So when we are comfortable with a certain person, certain company, certain service that we have been receiving, we tend to want to stick to that person. So I think that's one other reason why you probably want to just particularly use this person rather than the thousands of other people that are providing that same service. And I think thirdly, sometimes you would depend on recommendations. If I have someone I trust, and this person is saying, I have a plug for this service, I have a plug for this product, I tend to want to, explore that option rather than going on my own. Maybe like I might see it as maybe going out of my way, more stressful, having to experience it myself. But if I know that somebody is saying, okay, yeah, I've used this person, it's tested and trusted, I think you should go for this person. Of course, I'll definitely go for the person. So I think these are my thoughts on it.
So when it comes to patronizing product or service, there are things you need to look into. First of all, you have to look at the quality, you look at the brand, and also fit for purpose. Because the simple definition for quality is fit for purpose. And what does it mean by fit for purpose? Does it meet the need of the beneficiary, the so-called consumer? So for every product you require, you have to divine what you want to use it for. Is it going to be beneficial to your health or for your outlook? For if you talk about wares, we want to look at the kind of wear, both in color, shape, size, and fitting. And it must meet that purpose of the occasion that you're going to. Hence, you now decide what kind of brand are you looking for and the size that required that fits you, as it were. And when it comes to service, you must understand that a service provider must put priority on the clients. So you have to be client-centric. If you are client-centric, you care for the clients. You also ensure that you make them king in your workplace so that you come back again and again. Until then, your product is not yet acceptable until it meets the need of the consumer.